Bob Key and Brendan Nash both struck centuries on the second day of the LV County Championship match at Wantage Road, where Northamptonshire are trying to earn their promotion to the First Division against Kent. Only 17 overs were possible on day one, on which Kent made 60 for one. Key and Daniel Bell-Drummond added 16 to that in what was a quiet start to day two. That was until the latter aced Azzarolla to James Middlebrook to go for 11 at 76 for 2. Yet the promotion-chasing home team were made to wait for another 25 overs before they collected their next wicket, in which 134 runs were scored by Key and Nash, although it would certainly be fair to say that at times the home side had no luck at all. This was not what they would have been expecting. Knowing that a win would just about be enough to secure their long-awaited promotion, they would have now wanted to get themselves on top with the ball. But with no David Willey nor Trent Copeland, they were finding Key and Nash tough nuts to crack, especially when the sun came out and batting became a lot easier. For a side which has struggled for much of the season, Kent's team does include some batsmen who have been full of beans this year, with 3 passing 1,000 championship runs for the season on this day. The first was Key, who achieved the feat shortly after he'd reached the 50 mark for the 7th time this term. This one had come off 101 balls. On 40, Nash also made it to 1,000 championship runs this year. He was not too far behind Key as he raised his bat for the 10th time this season after making it to the half-century mark. The former West Indian international had needed 69 deliveries for this one, and he got to it with his 8th boundary. By now, Key had moved into the 80s with some shots which reeled back the years. The former England player may now be in his 35th year, but he's certainly not lost his love nor his ability for scoring runs. How Northamptonshire had wished that he hadn't chosen this day to shine as he was doing. He closed in on the 50th 100 of his first-class career with a very well-timed 6 off Middlebrook, which flew out of the ground. And then he got to 3 figures in the afternoon session with a similar shot in the same over, one which also carried the distance to take him to his special ton off 148 deliveries. As well as those 2 maximums, Key had struck 14 fours before he took his partnership with Nash to 134 at very good speed. Key was out to the next ball he faced though. This time he tried to place the ball behind the wicket and edged to Andrew Hall, although Key did question the umpire as to why he was given out. He left with 101 runs to his name. In spite of the loss of Key, Kent remained very positive in their approach as they tried to make up for the lost time on the first day. Nash had by now been joined by Ben Harmison, another who's made some very handy contributions with the bat this summer. In 16 overs together, these two added 68 more runs to take the total to 278. It was on that score that Middlebrook had Harmison stumped by David Murphy for 28, the keeper reacting quickly to a ball from the spinner which did turn past the bat. Nash remained, however, and when this sweep went for 4, he became the first batsman this season to score 5 championship hundreds in either division. Indeed, the most in the top flight has been 3. Nash has really made a name for himself in the county game this year, and he had needed only 140 deliveries for his latest ton, from which he'd hit 15 fours and a 6. However, like Key before him, he couldn't go on, and having moved on to 107, he was plumb in front to a slightly quicker ball from Middlebrook, a man who was to go on and achieve the best bowling figures of his career in this innings. He had 3 of the 5 wickets to fall thus far, and when he took a break, Darren Steven became the 3rd man of the day to complete 1,000 championship runs for the season. With a total on 327, Hall had Sam Billings LBW for 8, but the runs kept on coming as Stevens and Adam Ball joined forces to frustrate Northamptonshire some more. To be fair, Stevens has been doing that to all comers all season long, and he added his 10th 50 of the summer here, although he should have been caught on 49, Lee Daggett somehow dropping a sitter in his last home appearance before retirement. The drop wasn't overly costly. Stevens had moved on to 63 when Daggett grabbed his wicket with the ball, Azzarolla holding on at mid-wicket with a total now on 383 for 7. Ball and James Treadwell then took their side beyond 400 in plenty of time to pick up a 5th and final batting bonus point. The news was slightly less good for the home side, who had to make do with 2 bowling points as they only collected 8 wickets before the bonus point scoring overs ran out. Before they did, Treadwell drove Middlebrook to David Sales in the covers after making 10, and it was a first fifer of the season for the all-rounder when he had Mark Davis held in the deep by Alex Wakely. That was the 12th time in his career that Middlebrook had taken 5 in an innings, his previous best being the 6 for 82 he bagged for Yorkshire against Hampshire 13 years ago. He bettered that this time with figures of 6 for 78, with his last success being the wicket of Ball, who on 32 drilled him to mid-on where Matt Spreagle held on. That was the last ball of the day, with Kent all out for 418, a good effort from them and one that will have pleased Essex, Northamptonshire's only promotion rivals. The game may already be out of reach for the home side here to win, but a large amount of batting points on day 3 will do them no harm at all. Promotion could still be earned by the week's end.